Hey guys, Thundera here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my other videos. Today we're back with another build video, and I got inspired by some recent furniture that we got with like the horse ranch pack and some of the other furniture that we've had in other packs. So I built a house inspired by cows. Let's get into it. I built this house on the Cordelia's Secret Cottage lot in Hinford-on-Bagley. It is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, but I believe it could fit up to 4 Sims because I think you could have 2 adults in the one room and then 2 either children or teens in the other. So yeah, it ends up being 38,681 simoleons. It will be available for download. My ID is Thundera Shadow, just like it is here. So right now I'm just doing the uh, shell and figuring out the floor plan and everything, and I really wanted like a back porch back here, so that's what I'm doing right now. And I just kind of make it along this whole side, and then I just put in a little front porch. I didn't really want it to be like big in the front because I just don't see them spending that much time in the front. So yeah, so this is our shell. I'm just going to move the house over a little bit to give a little bit more room in the side yard there for like the cows and stuff. But first things first, I am going to roof, and of course I go with this roofing piece. It's like my favorite and the easiest, in my opinion, to use. So I just went with the biggest piece first and then just kind of covered the rest of them. And I really like how the roofing turned out. It looks really good, really simple in my opinion. So that's what I was really hoping for. And then just going to make it a little bit more even right here. And then just going to add a couple more roofing pieces on. This house, I will say, it was kind of hard to get into like this back corner just because of the fact that it was a bit difficult to see past those trees and to get it in the right angle to be able to not only put the roof on but also to put furniture in the room. But we're moving on to the roof paint, and I went with this like straw roof from Cottage Living. And so yeah, that's basically the shape of our house. And then I knew that I wanted to put a cow shed, so that's what I'm doing right now. Had to make sure that I had the cow in there, and I had full intentions of putting a cow plant in the yard somewhere, but as the build went on, I just didn't really think that that was the best of plans. So I did not put a cow plant. Although if you want a cow plant, that's an easy addition to add for yourself. So I'm just going to put a little bit of stone here. And just on a couple of places. I really didn't like how it was on that like side bump out piece. So I end up giving that one a different color. Like it matches the rest of the house. And I was trying to really stick with like red, or not red, but black and white. And so, and I was thinking about putting these shingles like on the top here, but I don't know. I just really didn't like how that looked. And for a little bit, this house is actually going to be like white and red, almost like a barn. But I do end up going back and changing this red to a black color just because I wasn't really liking the red and white combination, and I really wanted it to be more like a cow, I guess, just because I wanted it to have more of the colors of the cows. And yes, I know some cows can be like brown and all that, but I really just wanted to stick to black and white, like the classic cow that you always see. So now I'm just going to add in some stairs. And these stairs change. I'm deleting the underside because I was hoping to keep this as a starter home. Obviously, that did not happen. But, I mean, it's close to a starter home. So, and then the foundation. This is kind of what changes the stairs because I was kind of hoping not to have two different colors as far as the stairs and then the foundation went. So I ended up playing with the foundation a lot. And then I really love these horse ranch stairs. They are so pretty. So yeah. And then I went back to the foundation because I really wanted like a bit of a darker wood, and I was like I said, I was trying to like match it a little bit. And yeah, this corner of the house is just going to be difficult to work with. So just trying out a few of the different dark brown options as far as these stairs go to see if I can't get it to match just a little bit better than what it is. And I really think that this set of stairs works with this foundation. But then I decided to go and see if we had a horse ranch foundation, and I really did like this one right here. The horse ranch foundation is just really pretty, really simple. It still had the stone, and then it had the wood that, in my opinion, matched the stairs just a little bit better. So then just looking for a floor. I really love this floor from Eco Lifestyle. I did not use it though, because I wanted more of a, like, I wanted you to be able to actually see the wood a little bit better. So I went with this one from Cottage Living in this dark brown color. I felt like it matched pretty well. So just going to be putting that on both of the porches. And then just going to move on to the railing and fencing and stuff. And this took a little while. So I could not figure out which fencing I wanted, because I really wanted it to like match, or at least be close to matching um the stairs and everything. So I went with this horse ranch one, and I did cut out a lot of that footage of me trying to figure out what fence I wanted to use. So, and then I was going to have to move up the cow shed to be able to put this other fence down, and this fence is from Cottage Living. And then just going to put the cow shed back there, and just getting this fence in just to sort of have a fenced in area for the cows and the kids and all of that. And then I needed some railing, so I went for this railing. But my stairs were a little too short here, so I had to raise up the foundation, but then it was too high for the stairs. So I had to play around with it and try and get them, because you can't have the stairs like turned the way that I want them to be with the foundation this high and them this close, because it's going to have the stairs off of the porch. But I really wanted the railing to show properly, so I decided to do it this way. And yeah, so I got both the railing and the stairs in. There we go there. And then just trying to figure out where I wanted to go next. And I just really, at this point, it was like, I don't really want the red. I don't really want this to look like a barn. So that's when I decided to go back to like the black and white. And I really love this wood from Eco Lifestyle, so I chose to go with that instead to have the black and white look of the house. With the white stone and the black wood, it just looked, and then also you have that brown wood as well. And I really love how that turned out. Now the windows, that was another part that I had to cut out a lot of footage because it just was a lot. But I put this door from Cottage Living in the back. And then I really wanted like not like a huge front door at the front, but I wanted a bigger than a one tile. So this door from Horse Ranch, I'm just playing around with the colors. I went with this. It's kind of a black swatch, but not as much of a black swatch as I would have liked. However, I think it fits the house just fine. And then the windows. Like I said, I cut out so much footage of these windows because it was just a struggle. It really was. I could not figure out what type of windows I wanted, so I decided to go with these from Cottage Living over here. And then I just kept looking for some other windows to try and figure out what else would fit with it. So I believe all of the windows, though, end up being from Cottage Living. I know right now I have a Growing Together window down, but I believe that they all end up being from Cottage Living. And then I'm putting more growing together windows down. Like I said, it was a whole process with these windows. I just could not figure out what was the look I was going for here. I really wanted to have a bit of contrast and everything, but yeah, it just was a lot. And then I kept coming back to the cottage living windows. I really just did. So I actually ended up just searching by cottage living and doing it that way. Right now, I'm still trying to figure out what was the windows that I wanted, like what vibe of windows I wanted and all that. Because for a house based off of cows, there's not really many options. But this window is also from cottage living. And this is kind of where it was like, okay, well, what if I just use all cottage living windows? So I'm going with some of these bigger ones with the shutters. And then some of these little ones with the shutters as well. And then just going to get rid of the growing together windows. And these bigger windows with the shutters was just a bit too much for me, so I did replace a couple of them with like the smaller ones. And then just got rid of that growing together window, but I still felt like the front part needed like maybe a window or two still. So, and then this back part needed something. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just trying to figure it all out that way. And I decided to put two of these like single shuttered windows back here and make it look like they're together, just because that kind of gave a bit of a smaller window. And then I went with these from cottage living as well for the bathroom. And then some of those rounded pieces, I think I cut that part out, but I do have those on like the gables of the roof. So yeah. And then just going to go and grab an archway to get in from the mudroom. And I grabbed this one from base game. And then just going to go and grab some doors for the bathroom and the two bedrooms. I felt like the barn door look was just perfect for this house, so that's what I did there. And then really just trying to figure out what else I wanted inside, or if I wanted to start with outside first. And I decided to go with outside first. I figure if you've got cows, you probably have got like at least a little bit of a garden. So I'm putting in some of the gardening plots from cottage living. And then I really wanted something for like the kids to do as well, so that one was a struggle as well. But I'm putting out some of these like milk cans by the cow shed, and then these milk cans with like the plants in them, I put these up in front of the like by the front door. And then I actually did put some lights outside this time. I know it's a big shocker. I usually don't do that, but yeah, I did this time. So first place that we go to put lights is the front door. I wanted some beside the front door, and I really love these mason jar lights from Cottage Living. They are just so pretty, so I put those by both doors. I figure you just need like a little bit of light. So, and then just going to go back, and I'm going to go ahead and put the path from the front door to the edge of the lot. I put in like a stone path. I wish that we could put terrain paint off of our lots just because it'd make it look a little bit better. But since we can't, I just figured that they just paved what was in front of their front door. And then just going to put some lights beside the pathway, just trying to figure out which ones I wanted. So just looking through that. And I ended up going with the ones from, I believe that's from Get Together. I really like those, and I'm just going to put like one by the cow shed and then a couple by the back steps as well. And then I kind of wanted like a little bit more, so I chose these fairy lights from the toddler stuff pack, I believe it is. It's from the toddler pack. I just don't remember if that was a stuff pack or like a bigger pack or what. I believe it was a stuff pack though. So just going to put some over here. And then I could not really get that one to line up somewhere where it wasn't going to be a weird spot. So I just ended up deleting it. And then just going and grabbing a pole to put at the end of the other one. Right here. And then as far as this other side, because it still needed a little bit of light, I just chose to take one of these lights. I believe that this is from Base Game. And I just raised it up to make it look like it's just sticking out of the post right there. And then just going back to daytime because I was satisfied with what we had there. I was thinking, okay, if there is a kid here, I really want something for the kids to do. But then I also found these bikes. And this one is from Cottage Living. I can't remember if this was like the pre-order thing or not. Maybe it's Base Game. I don't know. I think it might be Base Game. But I really like the idea of there being a couple of bikes out here. So I grabbed them and just kind of prop them against the fence. And I'm going to move the bigger bike right now. I just felt like it would be better if it moved a little bit. And yeah, they're just propped up against the fence. And then I tried so much to do to have something for the kids, but the cow shed kind of just took up a lot of the space. So there really wasn't much. I did put a telescope over here by this one light, and I feel like that's probably all you need as far as that one light over there, just because of the fact that you don't want it to be blocking out what you can see with the telescope. And then I did grab this swing set for the kids. It kind of fit right there, so that's the way I went. And then I figure if you're going to have cows, you're probably going to have hay. I was thinking about putting out this hay feeder, but I don't think the cows actually um, interact with it. So I just put out a few hay bales. I figure you're probably going to have a few around the place, just stacking them up and everything. There we go there. And then it was just time to go inside because I really felt like I probably had everything I needed for the outside, except for like the landscaping, but that will come later. Now, as far as the lighting goes, I was thinking about these mason jars. I just didn't really like the look of them. So, just trying to figure it out. And I just put the saucer lights in, and then once I get the feel of the rooms, I'll go after that and change the lights. But yeah, so I'm filtering by several different packs. I've filtered by the Pastel Pop Kit, the Cats and Dogs pack, the Cottage Living pack, and the Horse Ranch pack. And these lights that I have in the mudroom and the bathroom right now are from the Cats and Dogs pack. And then I knew that I kind of wanted like a chandelier type thing above the dining room table, so I'm just kind of playing with that right now. And honestly, the Cats and Dogs light was just perfect, so I use that like literally everywhere else. The bedrooms, the living room, the kitchen, everywhere else. I just really didn't like the look of any of the other ones, so that's the way that I decided to go. And then just looking at the flooring, I do take the packs off for that, and I just kind of go with what flooring I had outside for the bedrooms, the mudroom, and the main living space. And then just looking for some tile. I end up going with this Base Game tile here because it kind of has like the black and white in it, just because of the fact that it's got like little speckles of black, and I really like that. Kind of kept with the whole cow theme. And then just going to go and look for some wallpaper. And I love this wallpaper from Base Game where it has like the little wood on the bottom. So I chose to use that in the mudroom and like the living room, dining room. And I believe I used it a little bit in the main bedroom. So then just going and looking at some tile, I grab the Parenthood tile right here in this black, white, and gray because it fit the best in my opinion. But for the bathroom, I did use Growing Together tile. Again, just the black and white, trying to stick to the cow colors. And then for the kids' bedroom, I already knew what I wanted. I wanted this polka dot wallpaper in the black and white because it kind of looks like spots on a cow. So that's the way I went with that. And then as far as the main bedroom, I hadn't really made up my mind what I wanted in there. But I kind of, I don't know, I love this wallpaper from the Dream Home Decorator pack, the triangle one. And then like I said, I just used the wallpaper from the rest of the house and as the other two walls. I thought that looked the best. And then just moving on to the kitchen. I really love these counters from Horse Ranch. So I went with those in the black with like the dark wood top. And just grabbing the pieces that I need. Going ahead and grabbing a trash can. I was really hoping that the pastel pop kit just had like a plain black and white trash can in the cow print pattern. But it didn't. And I didn't really want like the weird colors. I hate to say weird colors because to me they're just like the fun colors, but yeah. So I went with that barrel trash can, and then outside I put this trash can. But yeah, I just didn't really want to have like a pink cow trash can when nothing else was pink. So I went with this fridge from Cottage Living, and I also used the Cottage Living stove. They're both in the white swatches. And then just going to go and grab a sink. Just a simple base game, just trying to figure out where to put it. And then the curtains. I don't know, usually I have issues with curtains just because I can't get them to fit or whatever the case may be. But this time, I guess because I used the same the curtains that came with the pack that these windows came with, they just kind of all fit. I did use the Cottage Living curtains. They looked really good, and I'm just putting out some clutter now, the paper towels, the dish rack, the bread box. Just a few different pieces of clutter. And so, yeah, just looking to see what else. I do grab this. At first, I had this chicken pot out, but I don't really like it, especially not for a cow house. Maybe if I was building a chicken house, then yeah. So I grabbed the other pot from Cottage Living, and I really wanted like some sort of a wall shelf with like spices or something, but I didn't really want to have to make my own. So I thought we had a couple that had like a couple of pre-made shelves already with that clutter on it, but I couldn't find any. So I ended up going with a different shelf. But I did find like this wall decoration, so I put it over here. And like I said, just looking through to make sure that I could see everything. And I just didn't really find what I was looking for, so I decided to search by shelf and see if I couldn't find what I wanted there. And just looking through, and I do end up finding something that works. I go with this shelf from Tiny Living. And I honestly was just kind of throwing stuff out at this point. I do move a lot of this around in just a minute. Just because I was trying to get it to where I wanted it. So I put this shelf over here. And then I move the dish rack and the paper towels. And then just going to move the stuff over here on this cabinet. And so just going to adjust everything to where I need it and where I want it. Moving out this other cabinet because it was being a pain. And then I am going to change the color of this pot back here after I change the color of these. Just trying to get it to be a little bit more cohesive, I felt like I had a lot of black stuff here. And then honestly, this pot was just too dark. It just blended in way too much. So then just going back and looking at all the little cow stuff, I did decide to put like this little cow plant in here. And you still do have a counter available for your Sims to cook. And then I really wanted to put in an island, so I did. I used the same counters, and then I used the horse ranch bar stools. And then just going to put in the fire alarm and the thermostat. And just trying to figure out what else I needed or wanted. I was thinking about putting up this cow decoration somewhere. I think that that's like for your signpost from the horse ranch pack, but yeah, I couldn't really find a good place for that. So I did put these black aprons up here. And then I found these bags. And I knew I wanted to use those somehow in the mudroom. And then this, with the coat and the hat, I wanted to use it also in the mudroom. I just felt like that kind of gave the mudroom uh, a good place to like hang stuff. But then I also wanted this shelf because I knew that it came in like a black and white swatch. And I decided to go with this one. And then just really looking for a rug. And the pastel pop kit, I knew it had a cow rug. I just felt like I wanted to use it elsewhere. So I decided to use this rug. I believe that's from either Parenthood or Get Together. I get those icons mixed up all the time. So then just going to go and grab a curtain. And I just used a matching one for this last window in this space. Going to grab a mat for in front of the door. And then it was time to work on the living room because I wanted to see how much room I would have for the dining room. So at first I grabbed a different couch than what I was originally, or what I ended up going with. And that's just because I ended up changing the couch because the chairs that I wanted to use didn't really match with it. So yeah. But right now I'm just looking for the couch. And I ended up going with this one for right now. And I believe that's from the Book Nook kit. And I mean, it's a good couch, it really is. But the chairs I wanted to use did not look good with this couch. And you'll see that here in just a moment. Because I knew that the horse ranch chairs had a cow swatch. So I really wanted it right here. This chair has a couple of different swatches that has cow print on it. And I really wanted to use it. I was just kind of hoping for like a black cow swatch. But this was fine too. So I'm just going to put the chairs in. And then that's kind of when I decided that I didn't really like the couch like it was. So I tried changing the colors on it, but in the end, I just decided to get rid of it and go for a different couch. And this horse ranch couch actually has a swatch that matches the chairs with the cow print and everything. So I decided just to go full on into that. I mean, this is the cow house after all. So we have to have the cow print. And then I was going to use the cow print rug in here, but it was just too small. So I ended up going with this one instead. And then just going to grab the coffee table from Horse Ranch. And I ended up putting a video game system on it. And then just going to go and look and see if there was anything else cow I wanted to use. But there just really wasn't. So I decided to just go back and look at like some of the decor that I could use. And I ended up going with like this little owl decor. It kind of fit the color scheme that we was going for. And then just looking for like a plant or something. This one was just a little bit too big. But then this one from the Horse Ranch pack just fit perfectly and I really loved it there. So That's what I decided to go with. And then as far as paintings go, it was a little bit of a struggle at first. I did end up moving a door, this door right here, just so it could be a little bit more spaced out. So, and you'll see that just here in a moment. I used a couple of the paintings from Cats and Dogs just because it had like the color scheme I was going for, and it just kind of, when I moved the door, it kind of balanced a little bit more. It wasn't like a whole bunch of space on one wall. But then I still had this space over here by the front door entryway area. So I ended up deciding to go with this set of plants that hang on the wall from the Blooming Rooms kit. And I just felt like that fit perfectly. And then it was time to do the dining room, and the dining room was just kind of in a weird location anyway. But I did decide to put, at first I wanted a round table, and I kind of played around with that idea, but it just didn't really fit right. So I ended up going with this table from Cats and Dogs and just having it in a bit of a lighter swatch. And then just going with these chairs from also from Cats and Dogs. I thought that they fit like with the bar stools very well. So just moving the light to get it a little bit centered over the table. Then I'm just going to put in these plants from Seasons. Actually, I go for a fruit bowl. I usually put plants as the centerpiece, but this time I went for a fruit bowl. Then just trying to figure out what wall decoration, because there were still a couple of places on the walls that needed something. And I found this like set of skateboards, and it's like an alien abduction, but it kind of looks like they're abducting a cow. So I decided to stick that into the kids' room. And I just thought that that would be funny anyway. And then at first I went with this wall hanging over here from the Nifty Knitting Pack. That doesn't stay because I actually ended up finding a couple of other things that I wanted on the wall instead. And I thought about putting the pig decoration, but this is the cow house, so I decided against that. And so I ended up putting this piece, which is from the early pre-order bonus, whatever you can call it, from the Horse Ranch pack. I really love this piece. It's this wagon wheel with the flowers on it. And at first I had it on this wall, and that would have been fine and all, but I chose to actually change it to something else. And then as far as this back door, I just kind of put this shelf with like the gear and stuff and all that. But I actually decided to move the wagon wheel over to the side where like the cross stitch pieces are, just because I felt like it fit better over there. And then as far as this wall goes, I just went to the wall to like the paintings and stuff. I checked a couple of other pieces, but I ended up going with this piece from the Decor to the Max kit. It just fills out a wall so nicely. And then all that's left is just the 2 bedrooms and the bathroom. And I honestly did not know if I was going to be able to do the bathroom that well, but I got it pretty well. It went pretty easily. So I put in a Seasons shower and a base game bathtub. Then just going to go and grab a base game toilet. Just trying to figure out where I actually wanted it. And then just going to go and grab a cottage living sink. And then as far as the mirror, I knew that I was going to have to get one that was a little bit higher up than what I normally would. I actually ended up going with this one from Growing Together. You can't really see it here, but it kind of looks like rope a little bit, like around the inside edge, and I really like that idea of it being like a cow farm and them having rope around and everything. So I felt like that was a good detail to have. And then I just put some soap and some toothbrushes on the counters. I put out a couple of hand towels. Of course, I got the toilet paper in there. And I did put out a couple of towels. And then like this little shelf here from the bathroom clutter kit above the tub. Then just going to put out a couple of towels there. And then all I really needed left was just some curtains. Because this is the bathroom after all. They don't need to be showing everything. So I did go with the same curtains from before, the cottage living ones, just in a white swatch instead. And then I decided to put in a couple of rugs. Put in this this black fluffy one from Snowy Escape. And then just trying to find something to go over here by the shower. I just put in this like base game one and I sized it down. Then moving on to the children's bedroom. Just looking for a bed. I wasn't certain that I wanted them to have bunk beds, so I wanted to try first with these two beds. And these are from Horse Ranch. And they just fit the color scheme so well. And then I knew I needed a couple of night lights, which again fits the color scheme, black and white. So I was able to put those in. And of course, if you have teens, you're not going to need the night lights. So, and then just looking at some curtains, I put these in from Seasons, just some black ones. Moving the alien abduction skateboards over to that wall. And then, of course, the cow print rug. I felt like this was the best room to use it in. I was going to go for a different color, but I decided just to stick with the black and white. And then just, of course, needing some toys. Because in my mind, it's probably kids in here. So I went with the black and white cat. And then just going to go and grab a black and white toy box. And then just looking to see what else I could get. I thought about putting this tent somewhere, but I don't know. It just didn't really fit with what I had going on. So I decided against that. And I really wanted this toy box or this dollhouse in here. So I sized it down a couple. It should still work. And then I just put it here. It's not black and white, but it is blue. And I felt like it went pretty well with the rest of the house. And then it was just, I don't know, I kind of wanted to put in a little something more, but I couldn't really think about what else I wanted. So I just decided to go and look at what I could get off of or what I could get for the walls. And I put some of these like hot air balloon decals, or I thought about putting them. But I did put in this height chart from Growing Together. It actually has a cow plant swatch. So I did bring in the cow plant there again. But I don't know, these walls just kind of felt like they didn't really need anything else on them. So I don't know if I actually put anything on them or not. I might have just left them the way that they were. But I am trying to find something else to go there. And so just looking through everything. And there's just not as much wall decorations that has cows or cow plants as you might think. So I did end up going with one of these, like, transformer robot looking things. I went with the one that had blue just so it could pop off the wall a little bit. And then I decided to put a couple of backpacks in here by the door. So I put a white one and a black one. I thought when we had gotten the swatch updates that one of them had cow plants, but I couldn't find one with cow plant on it. So I just decided to go with black and white. Just putting them right there. And just trying to make sure I have everything that I need or want in there. So, and I did. So moving on to the main bedroom. I was really hoping that we had one of the Horse Ranch beds. I didn't check all of them. I was really hoping that it had some cow print on it though, but it didn't. However, I still really like this bed. It's really nice and I love the black and white. And then I just put out a couple of Horse Ranch nightstands. I wanted a dresser, so I'm just looking for that now. And I thought about just putting in a small dresser or one of the like ones that are like short and long. But I ended up going with this one from the kids pack, the kids room pack. Then just going to move the window, and then I knew I wanted like a desk with a computer in here, so I decided to go with, I was really hoping for some black and white cow print. Did not get it out of the pastel pop kit. But that desk is from Dream Home Decorator, and I just gave it a base game chair. And I did decide to go with the typewriter from Cottage Living. I felt like that would be the best fit here. So yeah. And then I put a little notebook on the desk. And then just really looking for some other stuff. I put a bookshelf because I didn't have one up until now. And then I really wanted like this plant from Horse Ranch. So I just decided to move that little book around. And then just changing the color of that. I wanted a hanging plant over here from Paranormal. I really love that hanging plant. And then I just needed to put some curtains on and get a couple of rugs. And I actually ended up going with this rug from the Moschino pack and this black and white swatch. I felt like that the room just kind of needed a little bit more white on that side, and then on the other side it kind of needed a little bit more black. So I went with this rug from Get Famous, and then just trying to clutter up the nightstands. Just looking for some stuff, and I went with this decoration from Horse Ranch. I don't really know what it is or what it's supposed to be, but I thought it kind of fit. And then I put a bunny from Cottage Living on the other one. And then just looking for some decor for the walls, and then I remembered that we had this cow head from Horse Ranch. And yes, I did decide to put it there. I felt like it was okay. And I really wanted to put one of these cows somewhere, so I put it over there by the desk. I don't know. I was gonna say I don't think I left it, but yeah, I didn't. So just putting in these curtains from Eco Lifestyle. And then honestly, I remembered that this one painting had a picture of like a barn and stuff, and I felt like that was the best way to go. This one right here from Seasons. It has a couple of different ones, but I decided to go with this one right here. And then honestly, it was just about the back porch and the rest of the yard. So I did put in this grill from, not Cottage Living, but from Horse Ranch. It just kind of felt like that would be the best one. And then I really just wanted like a picnic table for the family to hang out on. So I decided to move those around a little bit just to give it a little bit more room. And I couldn't really figure out anything else to put out here, so I just put out a couple of planters with plants in them. There really just wasn't much else needed. So yeah. And then as far as the landscaping goes, I did put in a couple of trees. It did take me a minute to figure out which kind of trees I wanted. So I did put in this big one right here, maybe. No, I put in this one from Cats and Dogs. Everything had just flowed so well between Cats and Dogs and Horse Ranch and Cottage Living that I felt like that tree would be fine back there. And then as far as in the front, I put this tree from Horse Ranch. And then I just put in, I wasn't too certain about using these cow topiaries, but I did. I used 3 of them. I sized a couple of them down and made it look like there was a couple of babies following the mama. And then just trying to figure out what else I wanted, because I didn't really think that they would have too much landscape and they wouldn't have anything like too busy or anything. So I put in a couple of these base game bushes. And then just really looking to see what else there was. And I know that this is a horseshoe. And I know that it's for horses, but I was thinking maybe they just had it to symbolize their farm, their cow farm. I thought that that would be good. And I really love it. It's so pretty. And it lights up at night. So then I just kind of put a couple of these other bushes around. These are all just from base game. Just keeping it very simple, like I said, as far as the landscaping goes. And then I realized I needed a mailbox. That's probably pretty important. So I did grab that, and then just looking to make sure that there was nothing else needed. So I went with terrain paint, and I'm not going to make you watch all of the terrain paint, just a little bit. But I did get it all around the house, everywhere, and I kind of layered a couple of pieces of the terrain paint just to make it look a little bit more realistic. I did put a little bit of light down and then go back with some dark. So that's what I'm doing now. Just to try and get it to be a little bit more two-toned, I guess would be the right word. But anyway, that's the build. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of my other videos. If you want to download this build, it will be available on my gallery. My ID is Slendera Shadow. I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.